Hello, welcome back to another video. I haven't made a sit-down video in a little while, so here goes. Before we get into it, I don't know if this counts as hydrating, but protein. Ugh, get this sweater off of me. All right, everyone, you came here for the college advice, so let's just start. Planned out my video this time. Actually wrote stuff down. My first big tip is to build some sort of routine. I think it's important for everyone to build a routine for their own sanity, but also to make something that progresses them towards their career or academic and just like life goals in general. I've personally found that I feel the best when I've been nailing my daily routines for a few days, and I can see my future potential because of those daily habits that I've been nailing every day, but also I feel like it's not that much work where I'm tiring myself out every single day. That's actually how you want to build your routine. You want to make it very doable and not like so intense that you're like working hard and grinding hard every day. That's not how you want to make your routine, or else it's not really going to stay as your routine and your daily habits. How you want to build a routine is start by making something that's really manageable but still makes yourself feel good about getting something done. If it feels too easy, what you want to do is first like sort of enjoy that initial free time that you have, but don't like pile on work right away. You want to add a little bit of work very gradually into your routine, because with routine, consistency is king. You want to stay consistent with your routines as possible. My second tip is learn how to manage your time. In high school, it was always really relatable to be that guy who's lazy, unproductive, always getting things done at the last minute. And I mean, to a degree, it is still really relatable, but also in college, it's starting to be more looked down upon because, you know, college is very expensive. It's something you shouldn't really take lightly. This is the part of your life where you ought to really start taking responsibility of your life and start getting things done. I actually enjoy that it's less relatable in college because it puts more pressure on myself to be more responsible and get everything done, get all my assignments done, turn everything in on time, because I know I can do that, and why shouldn't I do it if I know I can? I also just, in general, I feel better when people around me are pushing me to be the best person that I know I can be. And I'm also going to share with you my favorite time tactic, which is when you have an assignment given to you and a due date, I divide up my work in between the due date, like as evenly as possible. So let's say I have an assignment due 5 days from now, and I feel like let's say I have like 5 chapters to read. That would be really convenient, but I would just read 1 chapter every day, and then maybe on the last day do a little short review of every chapter to make sure I retained everything that I read. All right, this is kind of a weird tip, but in college you have to start from scratch. Again, you're basically starting your life over almost in a way, but more in regards to your reputation. If in high school you had a lot of achievements, you were the popular guy, all that's gone. Nobody knows you in college, at least for the most part, and you have to earn the respect of the people around you all over again. For some of you, that is going to be bad because you lost all that clout that you had in high school, and you really have to start back from the ground. But for others, I think this is sort of an opportunity for you, and you can try and aim for a higher level than you had in high school. Make the people's lives around you better, be a better friend than you were, whatever makes you a better person, or, you know, stuff like that. My fourth tip is you don't have to go to parties. I wouldn't necessarily say never go to parties. I've never been to a college party yet. You know, I might still go to one. But I'm recommending this because I'm not personally less happy because I'm not going to parties. If you're someone who has a big fear of missing out, I would actually take this opportunity to just learn how to deal with it, because there's always going to be random events or things that are happening without you. That's just always going to be happening. You don't have to always be keeping up with everything, and sometimes I feel like you can learn when you take a step back from the chaos and the chatter of the world and just like think for yourself and like miss out on things, because oftentimes you can figure out that you don't really care that much about going to parties. Like, you already have friends and you can just have like a chill hangout, maybe in your dorm or something. My fifth tip for college is learn about your college's resources and take advantage of them. You know, a lot of colleges have a lot of resources. A lot of your professors have office hours. Sometimes there's internships related to your career path, workshops related to your career. My college has like the rec center you attend for free. You're technically, everyone pays for it anyway, but you should take advantage of it because of that. My college also has food pantries where they give out food to all of our broke asses because we're all broke college students. My college also has free movie nights. I would also try to look for the best places to study. I also really advise you to ask your professors for advice or help. They know a lot more than you, and I would just trust your professors because of their life experience and just experience in the subjects in general. The reason I say to take advantage of the resources is you're paying for your college to provide these resources anyway, so you might as well just take full advantage of them, or else you're really just throwing money away and you don't even know. The sixth college tip I have is about making friends in college. When you first come to college, you might learn that it's pretty hard to actually make friends. It kind of goes back to my other tip about like how you're starting over, and you know, you have to build your reputation from the ground up again. You know, oftentimes you go to college and you don't really have that many or any high school friends. You sort of have to restart and recreate your friend group that you're tight knit with. My best advice for friendship in college is find people that you just have things in common with, because it's easy to bond over things that you have in common, or you know, shared experiences. I would suggest joining clubs that you're interested in. I personally, I'm not in any clubs right now, but I do want to join the weightlifting club here at UO because I know they have one. I would also say don't necessarily try to force friendships to happen if they're not like gonna work. Allow time to let friendships happen, because I feel like the best friendships weren't like analytically created, but like they just sort of fell into place. That's just my experience and how that's worked for me in my life so far. For me, my first term of college, I actually struggled a lot with making friends and like being lonely just in general, but I do believe I will meet a lot more friends in college. I still have more than 3 years left of college to go. This tip is like a packing tip. This is like a legit tip, but don't bring everything from home. I would focus on bringing just not the bare essentials, but bring everything that you definitely need, but try to avoid bringing like just in case items. I would just stick to, you know, bedding, clothes, school supplies, and you know, if you're a decoration person, maybe bring some decorations, but don't bring all your clothes from home, because you know, you're gonna have to go back home, and you know, it's actually nice to have some things back home when you come back to your parents' house. This eighth tip is actually more sort of like life advice in general, but it can definitely apply to college. And it's to disconnect every now and again and take some me time. There's sort of like two different messages I have for this tip. And one is to make some time every now and again to just sit alone by yourself with your own thoughts. Like, disconnect from the chatter and chaos of the world. You know, there's always so much stuff going on, and it can be fun and interesting for your brain to be so stimulated all the time with everything that's happening, but it's also really nice. I think you'll find that to like give your brain a mental break from everything and just like do nothing, you know, sit on a bench for like 20 minutes, maybe like read a book. even though that's like technically stimulating, but it forces you to sit down and like block the world out. The secondary message is sort of for those of you who are like really hardworking and conscientious people, which is great, but I also think a lot of this type of person can forget to take a break every now and again because they work all the time. But it's actually really good for you to take a break, watch YouTube, watch Netflix, watch some more of my videos or something, or just, hang out with your friends. I actually think that hanging out with your friends is a really good thing to do. There's been some studies on social interactions and like having them like in a more relaxed sense can be actually an effective mental recovery for your brain. So if you're working all the time, you can actually technically get more work done if you like sort of supplement social interactions. Not that you should think about it so mathematically or arithmetically. Next tip, I'm pretty passionate about this. Tip number 9, pick a freaking major. If you are an undecided major, like I don't even understand this. If you're in college and you don't understand why you're in college, then you shouldn't be in college. What are you doing? It's like so crazy to me that there are people who have undecided majors. I would say if you're a person who doesn't really know what to do in college or with their life yet, I think it's better if you just go out and get a normal job. One, that's like a lot better financially. You're going to be making money instead of going into debt and spending like tens of thousands of dollars just for like tuition and like mandatory campus dorm housing. And like have a normal job, take like a year or so to like try and figure out what you really want to do with your life. Because I think it's okay if you don't really know what to do, but to like be so unwise to like not know what you're doing and go into debt at the same time, it's just not a good combination. It's just dumb. Don't do it. Tip number 10 is just some general money saving tips for you that you see around the internet every now and again. One, try your best anyway to avoid buying textbooks. I can tell you right now there's a class of mine that requires that I buy like a $40 something textbook online. It's actually not that bad, but I'm able to save that money because my friend shared their online textbook information, so I can just access the same textbook. And so one person paid for it, and I believe at least three people are using that same textbook. And sometimes your professor doesn't even like quiz you on what's in the textbook or like really even go over that information in general. So sometimes you can find that you don't really need to like read any of it, and it's like it doesn't really even affect your grade that much. The other like money saving tip is you're a broke college student. If you're going out to eat, you're dumb. Don't, especially if there's no reason to go out. Like it's not St. Patrick's Day, there's like no holiday going on, and you just like go out to eat. No, eat your bad meal plan food. I know it sucks, but like deal with it, My last tip is kind of weird because it like almost goes against the whole idea of this video, but you don't have to have everything figured out. Like I'm sure there's a lot of people right now this time of year thinking about what colleges they're going to go to. Oh, how do I become successful in college? And it's really well intentioned because you clearly want to start off on the right foot by seeking advice from other people who have already experienced college and what it's like. I personally believe that the most you can learn is out of your own personal experience. There's this phrase, I don't know where exactly it comes from, but I heard it a few times. It's called paralysis by analysis, which basically means you never really get anything done because you're thinking too much about how to get things done properly. I think you should just immerse yourself into the experience and form your own opinions. Be okay with making mistakes, but be aware of like how they happen and how to learn from it, how to do things differently. And every person's college experience is so different. Even people in my own college have such a different experience from me just because of their different major. Like for the first 2 terms, I'm not taking any general education requirements, partially because I came here with some good credits. But also, like, my major doesn't require as many general education requirements, so I don't have to take as many gen ed classes. I think that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you like college videos. Smash like. If you guys have any good college video ideas, leave some down in the comment section below. I'm always trying to come up with some new college video ideas. I recently hit 100 subscribers, so thank you to everyone for supporting my channel, and I will see you guys all next week.